crystal ball, adrift anywhere of it all, just squares and circles. All the thoughts and dreams, feelings that I need here.
flying with the clouds. Crystals dancing in the sun. The colors are falling in my eyes. Time don't exist anymore. Only pictures of light and pictures of darkness. Free like never before. Like a river in the rain. Oh, Father of the four winds, take away my attentions. I did not betray you. I did not forsake you. The universe on a string, drifting in all directions. Free until the key finds the door. Free like never before. Children of light, gardens of life, gold on the inside. Children of light, gardens of life, diamonds in the miles. Children of light, gardens of life, gold on the inside. Children of light, gardens of life, diamonds in the mine.
Good, happy Sunday afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a beautiful afternoon on Rietspruit Game Reserve. I am Victoria, and on camera today we have Andrew, and in final control we have VM. So we have a power team this afternoon to take you on game drive. Andrew and I are bumbling up Hoofpad, which means main road. We're going to go north just now and see if we can find anything as we head north, and then we might head east towards Leopard Dam. And then maybe later in the evening, perhaps we'll search for our lady lions. Gareth and Andrew had a beautiful afternoon on Friday with, the radio, oops. A beautiful afternoon on Friday with our two female wild dogs. They were really spoiled with the wild dogs and the hippos and everything up on Leadwood. So I think we're going to stay central this afternoon and see what the rest of Rietspruit has to offer us. But before we dive into all of the things, let's see who we've got with us today. Okay, we have, hello, Mary and Carol and Christine and Brian and Elsa and Bob and Di. Oopsie, careful, I can see that bump out of the corner of my eye. And have I said hello to Betty and Jan? Looks like we have I said hello to Brandy? My goodness, lots of you joining us this afternoon. That's really great. Hello, everybody. If I missed you, say hello again and shout at me, and then I'll greet you personally. And also hello to everybody joining us on the public channel on YouTube. It's lovely to know that we have some nature enthusiasts all over the world tuning in to see what we can find on Rietspruit this afternoon. It is a beautiful afternoon. I don't know if you saw a little duiker just shot across the road. Nope, he's gone. The duiker are as prolific as the impala here, only they're solitary, so you kind of only see one or maybe two together, and they don't have that like heaped community feel like the impalas do. So it's quite strange because you'll see duikers all the time, but you'll only see one or two, and they're quite scattered. But we do love them. We have so many of them because we have quite thick undergrowth and a wonderful patches of thick environments, and probably
one leopard on the
I don't know what he just said. I thought he said one leopard. Afternoon stations, Victoria standing by from Hayes. Can I get an afternoon update? Give me a minute, everybody. Let's get this update.
There are 3 or 4 Edward stations on Lowveld. There are no active sightings reported, except this leopard now on Giraffe.
Copy, thank you. Station with a leopard on Bierstip. Is that animal relaxed? I am. I'm in the area. I always drive Bierstip. It's like one of the first roads that comes out of camp, but today we didn't drive it, and there's apparently a leopard there. Okay, let's see, Andrew, what's our best way to get into that area in case it is a relaxed individual? Yeah, I think you're right, we're nearly there. Station with the leopard on Bierstip. Can you just go with the situation and if there's space for a second vehicle? Okay. My heart rate is increasing. We are actually approaching Beerstip Road right now, so we've done a little triangle. What I'm going to do is slowly move on that road. I just don't really know where on that road it is and if it's relaxed. The worst thing we can do on Rietspruit is put pressure on the leopards because they are so shy. So what we really want to try and do at the moment is just be as respectful as we possibly can. Folks, there's a rhino here as well. If you don't mind, let's see if we can ascertain just on the left deeper in. We'll come back to him. We want to just ascertain what the vibe is, if there's a viable leopard sighting, if it's a young one, an old one, what the situation is, so that we can start adding them to our leopard habituation roster, which I must be honest is not exactly thriving. We've struggled a little bit. We've been really, really consistent with going out in the evenings. And we like to believe we're making progress with our leopard habituation. But I am yet to see a physical, in the flesh, furry, beautiful, rosetted leopard on Rietspruit Game Reserve. And if that's about to happen now, I might cry. I might cry. It might happen. It's been like 6 weeks since I've seen a leopard, which is the longest I've gone in 4 years. Oh, it looks like there's another vehicle that's also interested in investigating. I hope we don't scare, if there is a leopard here, I hope we don't scare it off. I will probably leave if it is a leopard and there's too many people or it's too close to the road and it's uncomfortable. Station with the leopard on Beerstip, can I approach? No news is good news. Andrew, will you cry?
Probably.
Okay. Just trying to figure out what's going on. I think it's just making space.
Poole mobile on Leopard, standing by.
Too late. My heart just...
Afternoon, Poole. 3 leopard stations on Blowbunk. Only active sighting is a leopard on Beerstip.
Don't get out, don't get out, don't get out.
Sorry, thanks, Chris.
Oh. Let's have a serious conversation.
Sorry.
Did you see a leopard?
Sorry?
A leopard?
Yeah, just right here, very relaxed, looking for a prey, but I'm sorry, it's limited to one car.
Oh, are they?
They came, they are not allowed. Sorry.
Yes, agreed.
No, they take it heading southeast.
Okay.
Southeast. Yeah, I told that.
Would you like? Are you gonna follow?
No. We continue. We try to find the lions.
Okay. Good luck. I might try and go in and
Of
see
course,
if she's.
of
If
course.
it's relaxed, then.
Yeah, he was very relaxed.
Was it a male? Hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Okay, no problem. Just straight in here.
Yeah.
I think let's try, Andrew.
If you look the tracks, but I'm not a specialist.
Yeah, I can have a look.
Somewhere from here. Thanks.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Have a great afternoon, folks.
Everybody. Yeah, well, it's pretty normal for them to move around in the middle of the day. It's just not Just not so normal on Rietspruit. Yeah. This is, where should we go in, Andrew? He stopped here. I wonder if...
Southeast.
Station 2 wild dogs on the Rietspruit fence of Leopard just east of Hoodie's track.
I'm gonna try and figure out a way to get in here. I think so. This looks like a good spot.
2 wild dogs on the Rietspruit fence of Leopard just east of Hoodie's
Okay.
track.
Andrew's gonna go
What have you seen there?
3. We're gonna try and get
2
in
wild
here.
dogs.
Everyone, my heart is in my throat at the moment. I'll check your comments in a minute. Obviously, I don't want to put too much pressure. But let's see. Let's just see. Okay, eyes peeled, everyone. We're looking for a white flick of a beautiful superior tail. I can't believe it. Could have been us, would have been us, should have been us, some could argue, but it wasn't. Oh my goodness, this is gonna get tricky.
Go there. Go straight over this. Left. Cuts open.
I'm gonna go straight,
Back it.
just go. Okay, anything for the leopard. Okay, Andrew's gonna... Okay.
Go.
Okay, it's on day, Andrew. Good job, good job. Anything for a spotty cat. It's actually beautifully open in here, you're right. No way.
I swear.
Oh, we lost Andrew's watch.
Okay, we'll get it later.
No, 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 it's not okay. Yeah, do you want to hop back? I can't believe I pulled Andrew's watch off his wrist. Well, it gives me a good time to check on how all of you are doing. Everybody says, hi, Rosemary. I hope you can find the leopard, Betty. I hope I can find a leopard. Di says, we'll be crying with you. Thank you, Di. I appreciate that a lot. I'll be crying with myself and probably with Andrew because this is one of those. Did you bring it for sure?
I'm pretty positive it was on my wrist. I didn't really take it off.
We're gonna have to backtrack.
No. I'll track it later.
We're gonna have to be on a watch tracking mission, everyone. But in the meantime, let's just, I mean, Andrew's being super nice about this. I think I would be panicking if I lost a watch. But Andrew and I are both dedicated to the cause, and this is a beautiful area to be off-roading on Rietspruit. Besides, of course, the first where we did almost lose a watch. There's no tracks just yet. I can't believe we're so close. So close, but so far. Okay, let's get around this eroded section. We could go through it, but I don't really want to. Let's get around this eroded section and see what's up, and then you know what we're going to do? Ouch. We're going to drive this block, this little triangle around here a couple of times if we can't find, whoopee. If we can't find it now, we'll just spend some time in this area. I hang out with that rhino.
Is the sighting still active?
There's no visual, but it's area.
know which direction that leopard went in?
Apparently southeast from Beerster. I'm going to keep working this area. Watch out. Carrying a little tree with me. Let's see if I can reverse it out. Now, there comes a point with the leopard on Rietspruit where you've got to I think you got to be a little bit clever about how we play. So, off-roading for leopards is no problem. Off-roading for leopards in a situation where the leopards are always relaxed is no problem. Apparently this leopard was relaxed. I'm just trying to get this branch that's in my vehicle loose. Maybe I should pull it out with my hands. But what we're going to try and do is get out of the block, and not for no reason other than I just don't want to spend too much time. See where it's getting hooked. I just need to wriggle. Feels like a trophy. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get onto the road now, because I reckon that's going to be the most, well, driving the road's going to tell us some things, because if there's tracks, we'll know, oh, have I got another one? You lose one, you gain one. It's like doing surgery on the jackal at the moment to remove branches. I'm removing branches from the car. I'm removing watches from Andrew's arm. What else am I doing? Okay, let's get on the road. Andrew's arm took a beating. He's got a nice little cat scratch. Unfortunately, it's not from a leopard. Would have been an interesting story. It might still be an interesting story. Watch out there, Andrew. Duck and dive, stay alive. Now, exactly, a leopard, well, Andrew says it's a good thing he took his hat off, but a hat is probably... Oh, you lost your hat to drive with Gareth. I tell you, us Nuddlesmiths, we really need to tone it down a little bit. Just get too excited. It's too easy to get excited. So under normal circumstances, my expectation would be actually that this leopard could pop out on a road and not, relatively shortly. But given that these leopards on Rietspruit are particularly partial to being shy and elusive, that might not be the case. So we're going to drive this triangle a few times. Pardon? Let's do it. Okay, just hop onto my side maybe. I don't feel like taking any more of Andrew's belongings. I am going to drive the triangle the other way around to see if there's any indication of tracks of where it went off. I'd love to see from the tracks whether it's a male or a female. I have a funny feeling it's a female, just because this area has been quite good for kudu krupp 2-3. She's the young female. And we would say she's our focus female, because she's probably the one who will have the most success within habituating. And as far as we know, her territory is entirely on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Do you want to hop off here and have a quick look while we're here? So, so basically, if you can imagine a box and a triangle at the top of the box, that's what Rietspruit Game Reserve looks like. And her territory is pretty central. To the west of her, we think, is where the Antelope female, her presumed mother, is. And then to the right of her, we have no idea. Or the east of her, rather. So the west, we presume, is her mother's territory. And the east, we're not sure who's there, but there's different signs of a different female in that area. So by our understanding, if you imagine a square for the Rietspruit Game Reserve, the Kuddekrip 2-3 female, we expect to be right in the center. And because we assume from all the info we can glean, she's not leaving the reserve and she's young, which means that she's our perfect candidate to start a habituation project with. Any luck? I'm really hoping Andrew's watch is in his tent. I know it's probably not. He has a nice little scratch down his arm where a branch might have pickpocketed his watch, and it hasn't fallen off in the car. We're gonna have to come back here and do a proper search, because that is not something we want to lose. Oh, hi, Mum. Well, hi, Ruth. Well, she was spotted here. Well, she, the leopard was spotted here. Maybe 5 minutes before we got here. Usually we drive this the beginning of the road today. And here are her tracks. Looks like a female. We did it because we had driven it. We've been just ahead of the other car, and if we'd been just ahead of that other car, it might have been us. It might have been us. But I mean, there's literally only one really nice truck. The rest are a little bit average. Here, it's tricky. There is also a herd of impala in here. We drove past them in the excitement to get here. Betty feels particularly sorry for Andrew on all of the searches that we've pulled him through the bush backwards. I don't blame you, Betty. He does take it. Him and Basil and Andrew and all the cameramen, they have a hard time. We don't make their lives easy. Okay, I'm a little quiet because I'm a lot focused. I'm just gonna keep in this area, keep searching, keep looking. Because we know there's a herd of impala here, if they start alarm calling, we'll know we're on the money. Oh, wow, Elsa, that's observant of you. Elsa says she saw your watch on your arm when you pointed for me to go into the lock. That's bad news, Elsa. That's actually really bad news. I was hoping that he had just forgotten it in his tent, like, you know, a normal person. Yeah, Andrew does have like normal olive skin and then this very white stripe across his wrist and then a very brown hand. So his watch is part of his body. We'll have to try and find it. We could tattoo a watch onto the the tanned area. We know exactly where it needs to sit. It is absolutely beautiful leopard weather. It's warm, but it's cooling down. This is, for me, was always the hour in the Sabi Sands when I knew leopards were going to start walking on the roads. So, yeah, I've never felt more frustrated on Rietspruit in my life. Knowing that there's a fork, we always take the left fork when we come out of the house. And today I said to Andrew, I'm going to take the next road. And he was like, good idea. That's not quite how our conversation went, but Andrew's very encouraging of the decisions I make. It's okay. We will hang out in this area for most of drive, try and catch up with our white rhino who we left here just now. And hopefully, a little bit later or just now, she'll pop out. So desperate. It's actually unbecoming. That's how desperate I am. A torch in the evening might help find that watch. I think it's a smartwatch, so it should make all the beeps and funny flashes and stuff if we text it or if we do something. It might.
Does Garmin have a Find My outfit?
I mean, Garmin might have a Find My Garmin. Surely you can ping it like you can ping an iPhone. Okay, this is where I saw that white rhino. Naturally, in the fluster of wanting to try and get to the leopard, I didn't stop.
Stations lost visual of these wild dogs on zone break fence leaving the area.
Somebody had spotted wild dogs this afternoon in the north on Leopard. It's just the 2 females. So while we're leopard searching, it's probably time for a wild dog update. Unfortunately, we confirmed all of our worst suspicions yesterday. The male wild dog's collar had pinged in the same place for 3 days consecutively, and the girls have been seen every day since then. So yesterday morning, Gareth and I got permission to go on to Kaya to follow the GPS coordinates from the collar. It was like central Kaya, and it was right in the middle of a really big block of land, so we had to park the car, and of course lots of thorns and lots of navigating of thick bush area. And we got to an area, and actually the first thing we found was the collar, which gave us a bit of hope, because we thought, well, maybe he had just slipped his collar. But then we smelled carrion, and so we investigated a little longer, and unfortunately we found his skull. So he's been killed, we're pretty sure, by lions. It is a very sad turn of events for our pack of wild dogs on the property. It's not going to be easy for the girls now without a male. And it's very sad, you know, we've worked hard to create a nice pack of wild dogs, a pack that was becoming quite cohesive, so we are quite disappointed and just sad in that. We have got some impala with us here and some wildebeest, and so I'm actually just going to sit here for a couple of minutes. I might turn the car around so that Andrew can get a better shot of the wildebeest. But yeah, sitting here listening, that the man who found the leopard said that she looked like she was very relaxed, but she was hunting in this direction. So if she's seen this herd of impala, She might just be watching them from the distance. Also, it is really nice to see a couple of wildebeest. Tell me when. Otherwise, I can go for. Okay. Damn it, Mary, you're right. Die 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know, the complexities of having of wild dogs. And in this reserve, we know we have lions and we know that we have wild dogs. And even in big open systems, wild dogs are often killed by lions. I've seen it before. It's not pleasant. I mean, I don't think we know 100% that it was the lions. Gareth and I searched that area and we couldn't see tracks of anything. But Kevin did say lions, and I think maybe because we're not on Kaya and we're not out every single drive, perhaps we missed it when the dogs were seen in that area and there were lions in that area, and so they've drawn that conclusion. Yeah, it's proven, Betty, you're right. It does all seem like the odds are stacked against us having wild dogs. Obviously, we have these 2 ladies. I don't know what the management plan will be going forward. Our wildebeest have moved off. I don't know what the management plan is going to be with regards to bringing wild dogs back. But it's tricky. I mean, at the best of times, wild dogs really, really struggle to get away from big predators. And that's why if you look at lions, leopards, hyenas, they're kind of, if you imagine like a little pyramid, at the top of the pyramid is the lion. Just underneath that would be leopard, hyena, and just below that you'll start getting wild dogs and cheetahs. They're really at the bottom of the apex predator pecking order. And so cheetahs and wild dogs often take a lot of strain. And I think it's difficult to know whether or not, because this is a closed system, that's impacted the success and progress of the wild dogs. Obviously, we want to think that that's not the case, but before we make any calls to bring any more wild dogs, or, you know, we've got to just, I think they will probably do an assessment of the situation and figure out what we can do and how we can help. And, you know, we don't want to keep repeating things if it's not working, but if we think it's just fluke and that's the way it is, then maybe we will try and bring more in. Obviously, I'm not the expert in that regard. I will only know when I know. I'll know when I know. I'll let you know. But for now, I think we only found him yesterday morning and could confirm that he had been killed. So Notch, no longer Notch. So time will tell. Time will have to tell. The wild dogs can outrun most things, but what happens with lions and wild dogs is that lions are ambush predators, and wild dogs, although they're very jittery, they sleep most of the day. So if a wild dog and a lion come up against one another, what's happened is it's so late in the process that either the lions have been pursuing the wild dogs or they bump into each other, and then it's no longer about being able to outrun in the long run and over big distances, or in open areas where it's just grass or there's not thicket or there's nowhere to hide for the lions. The wild dogs will definitely get away. But in a situation where there's a bit of cover for the lions can sneak up on the wild dogs. If the wild dogs become aware of the lions too late, there's no outrunning anything. There's not even a chance to run. And that's almost always how it happens. It's not that they're caught in a running race. It's not like tag, except one of you dies. It's more like the wild dogs have no idea the lions are there, and the next thing they know, the lions are on top of them. So it's very sad. You can see some more of our wildebeest just to the left. I don't know if it's worth putting them on camera. And we do know that there is that white rhino bull in this area who we'll continue to look for. Yeah, lots of happy prospects for this afternoon, but that is big headlining news, so we did need to talk about that. Barb, you're right, it's very sad. You're welcome that I'm doing the best I can with a sad situation, but you all deserve to know everybody's very invested in this pack. And Christine, you're right, we worked so hard to get them in and get them settled and make sure they were bonded, and so it does feel like a punch to the stomach, really. Betty, you wonder if either of the two females is pregnant, and if so, if they'd be better off in the boma. There's two questions there, I guess, or two points that we can chat about there. Firstly, the reality is wild dogs den in a certain time of the year for a reason. So there is the off chance that she's pregnant. They've been out of the boma for more than 6 weeks now. So I think we would have started to see signs. Denning season for wild dogs is May, June into July. This would be a pretty unprecedented time of the year for them to den, although in nature we've all learned that nothing is impossible. So as much as it would be completely out of the ordinary, anything is possible. It would be a nice, hopeful, happy twist of events if she is pregnant, the alpha female, but realistically I think it's very unlikely. The area where Brent saw them excavating when they were first released about 6 weeks ago, we haven't really seen them back in that area since then. So I think it's unlikely. There is that Air Force pack that are, as far as I'm aware, it's 4 or 5 males only. I don't even think they have any females. So if they did find these females, they would probably welcome them into their pack. The only thing is then that's a pack of wild dogs who knows how to get through a fence. They move between lots of different wild spaces that surround Rietspruit. They're quite a well-known pack of wild dogs, and so if these females did join up with them, it would be good for ensuring, perpetuation of the species in the area, but it wouldn't be great for us and our game viewing of wild dogs, because they would probably start to chance their luck with fences. And then as for the boma part of your question, Betty, I hear what you're saying, that they would be better off in a boma if they had pups, but we wouldn't do that, because we would never want to, as far as possible, we actually want to have a hands-off approach. Obviously in a small system we don't have that luxury, but where possible we're always going to choose the path of least intervention. So it might sound like a cushy way to keep them safe, but it's not the way they're meant to be. They're actually meant to face the challenges that they face. They're meant to come up against different species. They're meant to have to hunt and navigate the challenges of being wild. So as tempting as it would be to keep them safe and pop them in the boma, I think it's very unlikely that that's what we would do. It would still be very cool if she was pregnant, though. Mary, I appreciate that. Thank you. I think it's probably one of my favorite things about working for this company is that conservation is complex. It's really, really complex. And it's complex in more than just nature is complex. Nature's complexity are so intricate on their own. Then you incorporate the human population and the different closed reserves, and you incorporate all the different aspects that contribute, that humans have to control, that contribute to conservation, and they just make these things, conservation is real, and real is not always pretty, and so we're always going to give you the truth. And that's something that I love about this company, is you need to know what happens on the ground here. We need to know how it works, and we need to do best by the animals in order to be good custodians of this land. So the truth is what we give you, even when it's not so pretty, unfortunately. Mum Ruth, are they more vulnerable without the male? Not really. He wouldn't have. Safety in numbers is obviously a thing. So to go from, they would have all been there on that attack, and only one of them got caught. And so if there's 3 of you, there's a 33% chance in a situation it's going to be you. If there's 2 of you, there's a 50% chance in a situation like that it's going to be one of you. It's going to be you. So the fact that he was a male would not have contributed to keeping them more safe. But the fact that he added bulk to their pack would definitely have helped keep them safe. And without him, they can't grow their pack. So next season, denning season, they're not likely to, unless they find males or unless we do something. I mean, like I said, this is all hot off the press, so I don't know what we may or may not be doing. But without him, they're not going to breed, and so their pack's going to stay just the 2 of them, and as just the 2 of them, they're always going to be vulnerable. So it's just one of those things. Nature is a very cruel and harsh place. Andrew, should we go in here? It looks quite nice. Let's go in here. I won't take any more watches from you. He doesn't have any more to lose, so we can do all the wild off-roading we want, ladies and gents. It feels like there might be rain coming. Now I want to come in here because I want to see if there's any more sign of that rhino. But also this is where the leopard was last seen, so I kind of want to be here for that reason too. This is the hole I drove Matt into on my very first game drive at Painted Dog TV. I drove Matt into a hole so badly that my husband had to lift the car out of the hole. Physically lift it, like Incredible Hulk. It was an exciting first drive. Got stuck in a hole. Andrew's learning about this for the first time, so he just wants a play-by-play. So what was happening is we were following the wild dogs, and I like off-roading. I'm pretty good at off-roading, but here I've become very cautious of off-roading. Matt was on the back, which in and of itself was quite a rarity, because Matt had decided that, he was really being on the computer, so Matt often would be not on camera. He was really good at being on camera, but he had worked himself in where he could choose what he wanted to do. Except when they're new presenters, and you need a cameraman who can tell them where to go. So Matt drew the short straw on our first drive, and Gareth and I did an interview drive. A lot of you would have been there. But we hit, and I even looked at the hole because I thought, can I go through it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, I can get through it. It's just a dip in the ground. No. It wasn't a dip in the ground. It was a portal to Middle Earth. And I hit it so hard with my front right tire that Matthew hit the back of my seat. So the camera went flying and he whacked the back of my seat, and it was just so embarrassing. And then Gareth had to get out. And yeah, if I do that to Andrew, he might come and cut me to pieces and sleep. And just, we need it, yeah. But it was an eventful day. The wild dogs very nearly made a kill that day. We even had them stotting. The impalas were stotting in front of us, and the wild dogs were jumping up behind them trying to catch them. Unfortunately, they didn't. But imagine, I mean, that would have been too good. I would have peaked too soon if I had got stuck and had a live kill on my first drive. That would have been, I would have been done. I would have had to hang up my microphone and earpiece and say,
Guys,
this is my first and last time. I'm peaked. Luckily, I stayed humble. All the bush kept me humble. I'm feeling very humbled by the fact that there was a leopard here 5 minutes before we got here, and we can't relocate it. But it does mean that this evening, as it cools, already cooling off quickly. I'm not sure if we'll get rain tonight. We might get rain later tonight. Or if we get rain, we're scheduled to get rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. But I will definitely be checking all the crypts now for the rest of drive. We'll be hitting all the crypts. They're just north of where we are now. So I'm going to drive the triangle that the female leopard, if you can imagine a triangle, it's actually like this. She walked in here. So I want to drive the road again and see if there's any more indication of her coming out. And then when we get to the top of the triangle, I want to hit each crib, each water point that she could be going to, especially if she's a relaxed individual. In the meantime, the rhino that I saw that I didn't show you has walked on this road on top of our vehicle track, so keep an eye peeled for the white rhino. We went in here. At the midden. Yeah, we'll come back here. We'll come back here and we'll have to go and check out what Ilse said about where you were wearing your watch. I'm gonna have to check that. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, me too, Betty, but I won't read that comment out loud. We don't want to create any major panic. I'm just joking. Betty just says, I hope you find his watch before it starts to rain. I also hope we find his watch before I just hope we find his watch, otherwise I'm never going to live it down. I bet you there's some fancy way that you can track a smartwatch. There's got to be, otherwise they're not that smart.
I hope so. I'm an Apple, so.
We're going to have to ask Dr. Goggle. Dr. Goggle later on. Here's our rhino. I knew it'd catch him. Yesterday when we were looking for Notch, before we found Notch, Gareth and I found the biggest white rhino bull we had ever seen on Kaya.
Really?
At Hippo Dam. Surprise, surprise. If any of you have been around here a while, you'll know that, please just stay there, that if there's a radio update from Kaya, there's always rhinos in that area, so it was quite funny. I just want to grab the notches and see if we can figure out who this guy is. I think it's possible. Just based on where we are, my knee jerk would be that it's number 3, but I need to check that before I yep. White rhino bull number 3. He's becoming a favorite of ours. He's beautiful, he's relaxed, and today he looks like he's been at a mud spa. Little chunks of mud all over him. wonder if he's been enjoying the lucerne that we've been putting out for Lula and Kalula. At the moment, it doesn't look like he's eating the last of the dry winter grass. I'm just going to reposition for Andrew. Shall I see if we can get his head? How about that? That is great. There's a white rhino bull on Bierstip Put, just to the north of Hoofput. He's stationary grazing. Just in time. Somebody's found us. I think it's our leopard friend.
Sorry, they don't hear you.
No problem, it's just myself here. You are welcome to approach. This is the rhino that likes to get nice and personal with us. There's something about him that I'm beginning to really love. I think he's the guy who hangs around camp every now and then as well.
Morning.
Was he?
What I was doing was
Oh, and while he was doing pictures, you walked past him, so he spent camp. Yeah.
Okay.
Struggling. Little mic issues. Maybe. Yeah, it looks like a female leopard from the tracks. I'm very jealous. I'm not leaving this area. I'm just going to keep going in circles. Yeah, quite well.
2, 3.
Yeah. A proper mature female. Yeah, good. They're just telling us about the leopard they saw. Said that she had a nice big round head, which makes sense. A healthy female leopard is going to have a good structure to her face, especially when you're used to seeing cheetahs. I'm going to go back a bit, Andrew. I think you'll probably get a better gap just a little bit further back. How about there? You can see that notch top of his ear. His left ear at the very top on the inside, that's the number 1, and then at the bottom of his ear, if he flicks it the other way, he's listening to me, so you see his ears facing this way. But you might be able to see that at the bottom of his ear on the outside there's a notch, a cut in the 2. So he's white rhino bull number 2. 3. Because, you know, you have to add the 1 and the 2, Victoria, to get to 3. This weather's changing. Wind's picking up.
Definitely.
I think we're going to get rain tonight. Andrew did say Gareth and I weren't at home last night. We were in haste. But Andrew said that there was a bit of rain. So it's summer is coming. Wait. The reason why you're seeing a female leopard moving around this time of the day on a reserve like they prefer to be nocturnal is that the moon has been full. So we had a full moon, which means she's probably been very unsuccessful in hunting during the night, just based on the fact that the moon casts a lot of all the diurnal creatures would have been able to see her. And so, propelled by hunger, they change their habits a little bit and they do even more active hunting in the middle of the day than they would on, say, a new moon, because they'd have more success after dark. Okay, number 3 has moved deep into the thicket. I think we are going to leave number 3 to the leopard finders and see if we have any luck finding her ourselves. Can I just come past you? Da! Give it to me. Oh, she's beautiful. Andrew, I don't know if you can show everyone.
Looks like a female.
Yeah, definitely. It's a spot. But there you go. Well, a leopard and not a cheetah. I'm just teasing you. Hey, stranger things have happened. Hey, if you zoom it in, Andrew, no one will know that we're not actually with her. Everybody, we found her. We found the female leopard we've been looking for. Just jokes. Thank you so much. We're going to keep looking for her. Enjoy the rhino. Cheers. Let's go find a leopard. Although he's going to come, yeah, it looks like her. The mountain has been engulfed by clouds, but now we have a great view of our rhino, so why not just enjoy it? Sorry, Carol, I just had to. He's really spraying this tree. This is his tree. If I had showed it to you quickly and Andrew had the camera shake, maybe we could have fooled you all on April Fool's Day. So it was out on April Fool's Day. I once did a great prank to Brent. I once did a fantastic prank on Brent on April Fool's Day a few years ago. And I told my general manager that she had to tell Brent that he was being evicted. And she said, no worries, I'll be able to do that for you. And so she came to us at breakfast and she was very serious. And she had this whole long thing about how he had to leave because he was in violation of the Sabi Sands Code of Conduct. And he was like, he couldn't figure out what violation. And then she said, you need to sign a piece of paper for a search warrant for your room. And when he took the piece of paper out the envelope, the piece of paper said in big letters, April Fools! And he says, waiting for the perfect moment to get me back. Connie and David had to laugh about it. They knew ahead of time. This is beautiful, folks. He's within 3 meters maybe now of the vehicle. I'll just keep quiet and you can listen to him munching. As a bulk grazer, he is so important. I don't know if you can see how much grass he's putting in his mouth at the moment, but everything we burnt in the fires is called maribond material, which is grass that has died and turned grey, and therefore no grass can come up underneath it. Now with so many bulk grazers on Rietspruit, because we've got a good rhino population and the elephant population as well, with so many bulk grazers, we should have a lot less of that moribund material in the future. So grazers, especially rhinos, there's actually papers that have been published on their role in fire control, because they keep an area so nice and cropped with very little fuel load, that in a wildfire situation, areas where rhinos and big herds of buffalo are prevalent, the fire doesn't carry very well, and so a lot of the landscape is protected. Thank you, Andrew. Great camera work. Mary, trust me, Brent gets got more than he likes to admit. We get him. And it's always fun. But I am nervous, because now he's been plotting his revenge for 2.5 years. I should sleep with one eye open. Okay, I really am going to leave him now. He was just showing off so nicely, but now he's moved off in a different direction. So let's just do a loop or two and then go and figure out if she's visited any of the crypts to drink. We have lost the mountains. They have been engulfed in clouds. Andrew doesn't have to do anything to the camera. Where my hand is now is where the mountains should be. You can kind of see them if you use your imagination. No, they are well and truly disguised. We might actually be caught in it. I didn't think it was going to roll in. Andrew thinks we're going to. I think we might make drive. Drive might be fine. Andrew's laughing. He's like, because he's trying to tell the time. He's like, how much time do we have before we get wet? And then he realizes all he has to tell us is he has a tan. It's actually not funny. I would be panicking.
Is that smoke there?
Yeah, there's been a few reignitions on the burn. It's not anything to worry about, because the burn is completely sealed. So any reignitions that happen within the burnt area are totally safe. In fact, they're necessary, because if an area can still ignite, it actually probably should. We want to burn all the unnecessary dead plant matter. It's all part of the natural process, but I wonder if this weather's going to catch us. The sun has not set, everyone. This is just the weather. Hi there. Hi. How are you?
Good.
That's good.
So where's everything?
Pardon?
Where is everything?
These are great questions. There is a rhino bull, a beautiful rhino bull on Bierstip at Hoofpad, just here. Yeah, the next road, you're right. Oh, I'm just checking, sorry. Have a look. Thank you. I never know who I'm talking to, or if they know where they are or don't know where they are. But now I definitely told him exactly where he can find the rhino. Oh, I don't know if we're going to get it, but there's a beautiful little steenbok, and it's quite relaxed. Oh, they go from 0 to 100 real quick, but this one's hanging out for us. Look how beautiful that eye is. It's a huge eye. And in this area, it's the smallest of our 3 dwarf antelope we should get here. The largest of our dwarf antelope we see all the time in the grey duiker. And then it's the klipspringer, which is very rare to see on Rietspruit. I've only ever seen one. And then the steenbok, who's the smallest of the dwarf antelope. Not the smallest antelope in Africa, not at all, but that's actually a great quiz question, everybody. It's time for a quiz. What is the smallest antelope in Africa?
In the whole of Africa? Or South Africa?
No, it's a 2-part question. Smallest antelope in southern Africa, and then in Africa. Let's see. You know, the weather feels a lot worse when you're driving. When you're driving, it feels worse because the wind in your hair, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get wet. But when we stopped, it's fine. The clouds aren't heavy. I'm being an optimist. I think we're not going to get wet. But I do want to see what people have to say. Okay, Barbara. Good answer. So, you said the blue duiker is the smallest. You are right for South Africa. Now we need to know what the smallest in Africa is. And Mary says, if I can put a klipspringer on camera, we'll be best friends. And quite frankly, I'm just offended. I thought we were already best friends. So now this is a conditional friendship. I'll do my best in the time that I'm here to put a klipspringer on camera. We saw it in Andrew's asking questions. I saw it with Brent and Gareth on our first day here in the Rietspruit River, right near the fence line, the very western part of the Rietspruit River. Temperature's dropping quickly. I almost need a jacket now. I need a jacket. One moment. This is such great weather for leopards hunting. See, everything's blowing away. Okay, that's better. Thanks, Mary. Thanks for qualifying. I'm honored. My self-worth has been restored. She says, we're already best friends. If I put a klipspringer on camera, it'll be for bestest friends. Boom tracks. Andrew's giving me a bestest friends incentive as well. He says if we find the leopard, then we'll be back. I have the chance to make so many bestest friends if I just find some good animals. Yeah, I'm thinking, so we're just discussing routes quickly. Um, if we don't see anything coming out of the block here, it might be Leopard Dam, and then to go up towards the crypts. But we're going to be at the crypts too early, I think. Just for unless she's making a beeline, which I think is relatively unlikely. I'm going to go real slow here and just scour to see if we can see anything. I mean, that photograph that the other vehicle took, she sat. She sat and she was, she looked at them, and she actually didn't, she looked a little older than I thought that she was going to look. So that's just interesting to note. But she was relaxed enough to sit and look at them. So I'm hoping that if she wants to cross this road and move in this area, that my presence is not going to be too much of a deterrent, especially since our car is so quiet. I thought I saw something into the right. I don't know. Whatever it was, I'm not seeing it again. No tracks on the road, only that baboon that walked in this area. Please go.
That's an old Brabant.
We really need to see you. This is not a matter of wants. This is a matter of needs. Andrew and I have leopard needs. There's good game trails here that lead across the road, so every time we intercept a game trail, I'm just going to take it a little bit easier, check for her track. The other thing I might do one more loop before we go to Leopard Dam. I'll just see how I'm feeling when I get to the junction at the top. But the thing is that if she was in a hunting mood, she's not necessarily going to walk in a straight line. Perhaps at that junction I'll check for tracks. Yeah, she very much could. This is where we turned around with that herd of impala and wildebeest. So it's quite a thick, it's not so thick. That would be very funny, Betty. That would be my sense of humor too. Betty is right up there with all the watch jokes today. Betty says, maybe the baboon you're tracking will find the watch and wear it. That would be funny. I think it would be amusing to know how many calories a baboon burns in a day. Andrew says no, not funny. Not funny, just cruel. Come on, girl. It was great to see their picture of her. It does, I don't know, it gives me a little bit of confidence. I'm just longing for that white flick of the tail. they do when they're moving through an area and they want to communicate with the birds in the area. I'm going to leave you for a second. I'm just going to walk up and down and check if her tracks have emerged.
You too far.
I was just saying, unfortunately, there's nothing. No sign of her. Okay, I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive along this road to the junction and just see if she hasn't maybe angled in up towards us. If there's no indication, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to drive back in this direction towards Leopard Dump. Come on, it's a Leopard Dump. Surely the leopard will go there. What do I do with my phone in the meantime? Here it is. I'm very concerned at the level of investment in people's investment in the watch finding debacle as opposed to the leopard finding debacle.
I appreciate the support, folks.
Everybody is rooting for finding the watch. I need some of that rooting to help me find this leopard.
Maybe the leopard's got it on its wrist.
How would you feel if a leopard were wearing your watch, Andrew?
Keep the watch.
Okay, the leopard can keep the watch. Okay, so we know where Andrew places leopards versus boons in his mind. All animals are equal, Andrew. Not true. All animals are equal and inferior to leopards. That is actually how I feel. I feel like all animals are really special and really wonderful and really beautiful and really awesome, and none of them are leopards. In other news, we found the mountain. The clouds have passed over. So that's a relatively good sign. We had one leopard on Mala Mala who used to drive us crazy because she had this antic. One of her little quirks was that she never walked on the road. She walked on the grass next to the road. So tracking her was impossible. you were lucky to find her. If you found her, it would be fluke. She wasn't scared or anything. It wasn't like she was hiding from the vehicles. But I feel like every single leopard on the Rietspruit Game Reserve is like that one female we had on Mala Mala. I don't know, I'm just investigating anything that catches my attention. I'm gonna check. I think that's nothing. There's a termite mound on my left, deep in the bush there. It actually did look like it had something furry on it, but I think it's just a strange termite mound. Whatever it was didn't move, which to me is an indication that it's not a living creature. Kind of looked like a honey badger, which would have been fun.
Seen one yet on Rietspruit?
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen a honey badger on this reserve. Okay, I did say I would turn around and drive towards Leopard. I don't know. Oh, my gut wants to drive this again. I want to drive this square once more, everybody. Not because I think she's going to pop out where we are now, because if she was angling a little bit south and east, she's actually could pop out on Hoofpad on the next road. So, I mean, I'm just really, really hopeful to know that there was a leopard 3 minutes before we got there gives me actually a lot of peace, a lot of excitement, because she was relaxed. And maybe part of the habituation process that we have taken into consideration here is, even though she's relaxed, if she goes off road, people don't follow her, and so we just lose her quite quickly. That's something we should factor in. There's a drainage line here. I'm wondering if the drainage line here leads somewhere, and if she might have followed it, but it leads to Hoofpad, so we're going to head in that direction anyway. I'm going to check if I can see where her tracks went.
Full station, we have 2 wild dogs that led the dam.
Okay, the wild dogs down the wood. I'm just going to walk. Maybe I'll find a walk. Put Betty's mind at ease. Betty and Andrew. Problem is, it could have gone in anywhere here. Did you just realize you'd lost it? Or feel like it would flicked off? When Andrew was a bit, it's not that. I mean, somewhere.
I'd assume so. Where's that big branch you passed to me that I pulled over?
This
Huh. I have turned on the ambient mic, so I think they can hear me. Hello, everybody.
Andrew's chatting away.
This is what happens when you're a prime cameraman.
He's just making sure nobody forgets who he is. He's got a great leave coming up, so we're gonna miss Andrew. We'll be getting Basil back at the end of the week. Okay. I don't know where the watch is.
Nope. Hello,
did also really want to have a look to see if we could find
See any tracks?
any tracks, but there's no indication that she went in there. I can feel a drop or two of rain. It'll be interesting to see Rietspruit when the... It'll be interesting to see Rietspruit when the rain falls and the animals come out and there's a joyous excitement and exuberance, because you know, for us we see more in winter, but obviously there is that like excitement that animals seem to possess when it's a season of plenty, which comes with the rains. And summer rains are so nice because they're not freezing cold. Winter rains are awful. But summer, oh yeah, we got to drop the ambient mic. Okay. They were listening to you, but now they're saying that they can hear me on both. Should all be better. All the mic thingamajigs. Oh, please, girl. Come out. Oh, they did. Andrew and I have this shared childhood thing. It's The Beautiful Creatures by Ed Jordan and Alan Savory, Alan Savory, the two of them. And it was, woo! That is quite...
Station female cheetah on hoof between Leopard and Leopard down south.
That is quite something to have a big male giraffe running at you. Wonder what made him feel he had to run up the road. Perhaps he just lacked momentum and he needed a little kick. Hello. Now he's hiding. Sure. Yeah, when you see a giraffe running like that, you get visions of a pride of lions chasing behind them. And then you think, I'm probably in the wrong place for a giraffe to be running at full tilt. No, we were fine where we were. Giraffe hunts were one of the things on Mala Mala that if a giraffe hunt was happening, particularly after the sun had set, we were actually asked to leave the area because the giraffe just runs chaotically and vehicles just get in their way, and the next thing you know, you have a giraffe that trips on your bonnet. Never happened, but preemptively. We were made to make sure that we were always safe. Let's carry on. Nice to see that giraffe. Station with the cheetah. I'll be keen to join you there. I think the cheetah are not far from here. If I heard my radio correctly, I was watching a racing giraffe, but from what I could hear, they were found just a little further up from where we've been looking for this leopard. So we might pop in, well, we won't spend the whole afternoon. It would be great to see those cheetah. if they are where I think they are. I'll have to figure that out, because from what I heard, I thought that they were at Leopard Sate, which is not the next junction, but the junction after that, which means they really are quite close. But if I've got that wrong, I may have. Then we'll continue on our search, because what have you got? Andrew thought he saw a track. No problem. Can feel the darkness descending. I've said it so many times, but summer rains must come. They must just make sure that they leave the 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. slot open, and on a Tuesday, if they could please leave the 5:30 to 7:30 slot open in the morning, that would be great. Saturday, it can rain the whole day. Who do I submit my rain schedule to? Anybody know? If you know who I can submit my rain schedule to, I'll be very grateful. And you'll all benefit as well, because we won't have to cancel drive. I did wonder if he was running from something, but I had a good look and there was nothing in that area. I think it might have just been a combination of the wind and having to move up a hill with some speed and momentum, but there was nothing up the drainage line, and there was nothing there's nothing in that area. So I think he was just on the move. He slowed down as well, and he wasn't looking behind him. Giraffes are really good at focusing backwards if they've seen something that they want to watch. They're fantastic. Their eye focus is amazing. So if he had had anything chase him, he would have got to an area where he felt safe, turned around and fixated on it. And that would have been a clear or a further indication that something had chased him, but there was nothing that was bothering him as he moved forward. Okay, we're just going to go a little bit further along Hoofpad, and then I think what we'll do, if we don't find the cheetah, there's some impala here, just good to know. If we don't find the cheetah, what we'll do is we'll go up Leopard Sate and make our way towards Leopard, because we're still looking for the leopard, if I'm honest. I'm not ready to give up. I nearly drove past them. No problem. I'll find an angle.
That might be enough room for you to get in on my left.
Affirmative, thank you. Let's go in. It is the male cheetahs, everybody. That's quite nice. Can you get it? Great, thanks. If you need to leave, let me know. I've got them. Can we squeeze in on the left there, Andrew? Yeah, let's try. I'm gonna try and squeeze in on their left. see. Oh, there's two of them. I'll go like this for you, Andrew. This one might be good. We are desperate to try and find that leopard again.
Yeah, we're going.
We'll work with you. Let us know. She.
Where did you last have her?
I didn't. And her tracks, yeah. She went the block east of Beerstip, or north, I don't know how you want to call it.
So
Sorry, south of Beerstip, east.
whereabouts is the junction west?
More like north of. Yeah. Quite a bit, like a significant amount, but close to that junction.
Up here. So then
Ma-
back this way.
Yeah. Is,
Yeah, I
ma-
was going to go to Leopard there.
well, if you want to do that, you're welcome. That's a
Sure.
check. They had a good.
How much water have you got round house?
A fair amount.
Got Camp Cam, the reservoir, and
Yeah.
the last
3
little
different
bit
water
of Mamba
points.
Dam. Well, I wouldn't call it Mamba Dam.
Dam's mud.
Call it the Mudwaller.
Mamba Mudwaller.
Going there.
No.
You could go to your little camp.
Mm.
I'm assuming it's a sheep.
It was, yeah. Her tracks were female. We did see a picture of her.
Three.
Okay, she's the least leopard.
Even more having chats about the leopards while we're looking at beautiful cheetahs. Fence and line, our cheetah. They're going to be a little bit more on edge because the wind has picked up. It's fading. Nice yawn, the one we affectionately call line. You know, the collar, line. At least that's how I see it. If they're here now, they're probably going to accept Gareth in the morning. Typical. Beautiful, aren't they? See the tail, how flat when he but for right now, it's just a feature. But we'll keep it in the air. Won't this die from here either? Making a kill now for a cheetah is a risky business. The only thing they won't have to contend with would be vultures. Are they both moving? Yeah. Yeah. Snow. Give a load. Really fresh legs. Really fresh legs. I'll come if you find really fresh leopard tracks. We're be cheeky, but the reality is in a reserve like this, we actually often don't call in leopard sightings just because the leopards are quite shy. We want to respect their boundaries, and everyone gets excited. Even I was guilty today of getting excited, but it sounded like the man was willing to make space for me. And
female cheetah heading south from this part towards the Lowveld of South Africa. One station still unlocked.
yep, so we were just being naughty about how we'll tell one another if we actually find her.
Could you please give the position of the cheetah, please?
They were on Hoofpad between Westveld Pass and Leopard down south.
Might be a bit of a boundary.
Near May Lane.
Wait, everybody, wait.
Copy that, thank you.
Okay, I can see them. And they're moving ahead of us. We won't have that much time to follow them because, well, they're already on the fence. Because it's dark, it's going to get dark now. So we'll see if they find anything that interests them when they hit the fence. And then we'll make a call on whether we stay with them or we continue on our afternoon's adventure. Here. A little to the left. Nice. Okay, beautiful. I can see the cheetahs. They're on my left, further back. I think this is pretty much the exact place I first met these cheetahs. Andrew was driving and I was learning roads with Andrew. Hello, boys. Well, ain't that beautiful? So, cheetahs are often crepuscular hunters. They will be hunting in the last 2 hours of daylight. This would be a relatively bad life decision if he decided to hunt now, just because the lions were seen, in fact, probably almost in this area this morning. And then the leopard could bully 2 cheetahs off a kill, although being a female leopard and 2 male cheetahs, that might be unnecessary. If it were a male leopard, it would be more likely.
Warren on Leopard, standing by for update.
But, you know, if they get the opportunity, they're not going to let it pass them by. So, Warren, I'm not sure how many leadwood stations are on Blowbank. There are 2 male cheetahs on the southern fence line of Blowbank, just to the east of Eistervarkpad. And then there was brief visual of a female leopard earlier this afternoon on Beesterpad north of Hoofpad Route. Visual was lost. And then there was also a male rhino bull in that area.
Copy that, thanks so much. There were wild dog spotted here 10 minutes ago at Leopard Dam, so just trying to relocate.
Okay, I forgot to give him the wild dog update. Okay, they're going to take it easy.
Wild dogs have been hanging out on the Zanspray fence. I've had them there a couple of times, including about 2 hours ago.
So
Thanks, Chris, that's great, thanks.
beautiful. What do you say, Andrew? You think we leave them? I just want to see if we can, well, I think Chris is going to drive.
Dogs going from Leopard Dam towards contractors. We drove down there to relocate.
Okay, so I think let's sit with the cheetah, just because the route that we were going to take to find the leopard, Chris is going to drive, the other man. And so it's probably not necessary for us to all be in that area. So we'll give it another 5 minutes or so with these cheetah, see if they look to do anything, and then we'll give them some space. And luckily we're not too far, we're within the area of where we were with the leopard, the rhino, the cheetah. It's all happened in the same little square this evening. Unfortunately we can't count the leopard though, because we didn't exactly see her. Very frustrating, but also very encouraging. No, did anybody answer what I can't find if there's any answers to what the what the smallest antelope in Africa is.
Oh, there's a rhino next door.
Do we have a rhino joining us? Where is he?
On your right, headed over that open white
Oh
area.
yeah,
I'll
there's...
put that on camera though.
Okay. Andrew just
Right.
spotted a next door neighbour's rhino. Oh, good. Perusing to see if any of you tried to guess what the smallest well, the smallest antelope, now Barbara has said the smallest antelope is the West African royal antelope, 25 centimeters at the shoulder. Ooh, that would be hotly contended with the dik-dik. I just checked both. I think the dik-dik is slightly smaller, around the same height on the shoulder, but a little bit lighter. So the dik-dik is the smallest antelope. But that is a seriously strong guess there. And you even made, I had to go look it up. So well done, Barbara, on that level of, that is deep Googling that you got into. And I'm only saying you Googled because you told us you Googled. Otherwise I would have believed that you knew that off by heart. Mary, they are gorgeous boys. And Andrew's camera work is deceiving because at the distance that I'm at now, it's actually quite tricky to see them. So okay, Andrew will show you how it is that we are currently seeing them. Very, very dark. To me, they look like elephant dung in the road. That's more or less what we are seeing at the moment. It's incredible what these cameras do. Hey? That's what we're seeing. What it looks like to me in some ways is 2 piles of elephant dung. Bob, you were so close. I think you can trust Google most of the time. I'm not going to put a light on them. Okay, cool. We're doing great there. Oh, look at you looking at us. So I think that tomorrow morning, if they're in this area, they are going to be our best bet if we want to get up early for anything, any level of activity, because we are looking at 2 relatively hungry male cheetahs, and as now that the sun has really, it's become dark, I think it's very unlikely that they're going to try and hunt. If it were more of a full moon, they might try their luck, but with this cloud bank that's rolled in, I think it's going to be quite a dark evening. So I think it's actually very unlikely that they'll hunt this evening. It would be out of character for them to hunt this evening. I think it would be more likely for them to hunt first thing in the morning. You can see they're even there on edge. The beautiful thing for them right now, beautiful thing about the fence is that 180 degrees of their surroundings, quote unquote, are protected now when they lie on the fence. So you notice that they've decided to lie down back to back. It means that they can cover each other's blind spots and see if any danger approaches and then respond accordingly and alert their friend. When whenever you'll see cheetah in the wild, whenever they're going to rest, they rest back to back so that they can see, they just cover more ground visually. And with the fence, I'm not sure that they're fully aware of it, but with the fence they don't really have to worry about 180 degrees of visual scoping, because nothing can come up behind them. Things can come up behind them and probably give them a huge fright, but it's not going to be life-threatening. And now, with the weather and wind the way it is, I think that they are probably going to spend most of their night with their heads up. Not a very restful evening when the wind is poor. Do we have? Well, I think Andrew's doing a fabulous job. Look at them. He hasn't taken his eyes. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, he hasn't taken his eyes off me, and then that's exactly what he did. He took his eyes off me. But it is probably because we're getting gusting winds. I think let's leave them. Let's trundle on up the fence, see if the lionesses are anywhere along the fence. Okay. It's actually always so special to be able to see the male cheetahs. Any time of the day, under any circumstances, they make me happy. I'm kind of falling in love with these two. Don't tell Gareth. Goodbye, fence and line. Yeah. Did look like we had a bit of lightning. Those colours are so pretty. Stations, I'm leaving these two male cheetahs to themselves. They're still on the southern fence line of Blowbank, just to the east of Eastervark Pad. Okay, let the games begin.
Victoria for Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
We did test the vast path round to Leopard Dam. Didn't see any tracks there yet. We're going to do a loop up to Poole Crib and then back round past Beerstip.
Copy. I think I'm going to work Beerstip north, see if she re-emerges on the road. And look for Andrew's watch. But first we're going to go down the fence to see if the lions are still here. I think the reality of the situation is that our leopard chances dwindled the second somebody else found her. It seems to me that on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, if you're not the one to find the leopard, you're not the one to see it. And I kind of like that, because in other places where leopards just relax and take it easy, you can get lazy. You're not necessarily going to always have to search for them, and also they relax, so they don't hide from you. But it's an extra thrill out here to know that you have to be the one to spot her. Okay, there's a nyala on the road in front of me. I don't want to blind him. It's fine. Off. Oh, okay, there he is. I'm not going to do that. Poor thing. That was the African version of a deer in the headlights. Sorry, Nyala. If you continue the way you're going, you might meet some cheetahs. And that could be detrimental to your health. That's a nice way to put it. Terminal, really. But he's gone off, so he should be fine tonight. We have such a macabre sense of humor out here. We become so jaded to the ebb and flow of life and death. I think it's the only way the only way you cope with it is to be a little bit humorous about the situations. It's so ridiculous. Okay, so this is where I understand the lions were left. And there is no real indication. I'm just going to continue along the fence for the last little bit of game drive and see. Perhaps we'll get lucky. But it has been a fantastic drive. Well, it's been a good drive. It's been good because we know where a female leopard is spending time. So it gives us a really good baseline. All of these things, every single time we glean some more information about the leopards of Rietspruit is a good day. Obviously, we also had the chat about Notch, and unfortunately, what has happened there, and so everybody's up to date on that. And then we ended on such a high, beautiful, brilliant note with our friends Fence and Line, who oh, this is not a road, who did bring some good light-hearted vibes to the end of our week. It's actually been a little while since I've seen the boys. I know that our boys, as in Gareth and Andrew, have been seriously lucky lately on game drive with these cheetahs, but I haven't seen them all that often. So, well, I just haven't seen them recently. So it's actually been pretty amazing. Just checking some things. I hope the watch is found. Thank you, Christine. We hope so too. Thanks, Betty. We will go and search for it. Thanks, Bob. Thank you, all of you, for saying thank you. It's always the best way to spend an afternoon is out on safari with all of you. Now we're definitely going to have to start another search for your watch. Yeah, time for a new search. It would have been worth it if we had exactly. Is your earpiece working? Are you getting anything? Cool. Andrew says he has battle scars for nothing. I have a question. I wonder, Andrew, did you grow up with cats?
Not at all.
Andrew didn't grow up with cats.
But they all ran away.
Okay, they all ran away.
I was 2, so I didn't.
Before he was like old enough to comprehend what cats as pets were, he didn't really have any, because the scratches on his arms, if he had cats as pets, they would be insignificant. But They did steal his watch, so they did something, those scratches. They were pretty substantial, actually. Okay. Well, from us, it's been fantastic. We are very glad you could join us this Sunday evening. Thank you for riding the roller coaster of the thrills of will we see a leopard, won't we see a leopard? We will, it was exciting. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.